Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you students? Are you well? Shabash. You are looking very nice. Today we have to start lesson number 5. And you know, my name is Mr. Khalil Ahmed. I am your teacher. And you are the student of class MA Education, Leadership and Management. The subject of your class is Educational Measurement and Evaluation. Course code of this subject is EDUC 3158. Dear students, today we have to start lesson number 5. Inshallah, that lesson will be a very effective, and I hope you will keep your attention in this lecture. Thank you. Let us start our lecture. Objectives of lesson. Objectives of lesson of this lecture. After completion of this lecture, students, you will be able to know about learning outcomes. What are learning outcomes? And in this lesson, you will also understand about statement of learning outcomes. How we can state, how we can describe learning outcomes. Dear students, in this lecture, you will be able to comprehend about the nature of learning outcomes. What is the nature of learning outcomes? You will also learn in this lesson, and you will be also able to analyze the structure of learning outcome. What is the structure of learning outcomes? And at the end of this lesson, we have described the methods of stating objectives. So these were objectives of the lesson, and now we have to discuss about learning outcomes. Dear students, you are with me, Shabash, and you are watching this slide. Learning outcomes. And dear students, when you feel, when I stress on some words, you have to underline that words, and you have to keep in mind that words, and you have to try your best to learn very well all these things. So we have to start. What are students' learning outcomes? Students' learning outcomes are SLOs, are expected statements that specify what students will know, be able to do, or be able to demonstrate when they have completed a program, when they have completed an activity, a course, or a project. Actually, learning outcomes are expected statements. This is very important, expected statements, because when teacher start lesson, during the lesson, at the end of the lesson, teacher expect a lot of things. Teacher expect my students will learn this, my students will know this, my students will understand all these things, and these are teachers' expectations. The expectations of the teachers are the learning outcomes of the students. And these expected statements that identify what students will know or be able to do, or what student will be able to demonstrate when they will complete program, and what will they be able to demonstrate, and that demonstration is the learning outcomes. Here I want to describe that learning outcomes, dear students, just like a outcomes products. Products are very important, and each and every teacher, each and every person require a good products. Learning outcomes are the outputs of the students. In the form of a lesson, teacher put inputs to the students. In the form of a lecture, in the form of content, in the form of a material, teacher provide input to the students, and output of the students are learning outcomes of the students are SLOs. When teacher deliver knowledge to the students, when teacher deliver lesson to the students, teacher use different content material, different explanations, different examples, different material teacher use, and at the end there are expected some things. The students will be able to demonstrate these things. The expected demonstration, the expected performance of the students, that is the learning outcomes. And learning outcomes are very important. Learning outcomes just like outputs of the students after completion of this lesson. Outcomes are usually expressed as knowledge, skills, attitudes, or values. Often, outputs or outcomes or SLOs and learning outcomes, student learning outcomes are usually expressed in knowledge. This type of knowledge students will have. When students have a knowledge, for example, on a topic, on Islamic topic, teacher deliver content to the students, teacher deliver material to the students, and at the end teacher expect the on specific topic the student have on knowledge. In the same way, when teacher provide content and material to build up different skills, writing skills, speaking skills, at the end of the lesson teacher expected statement, teacher expect students will have a skill, student will be able to read out, student will be able to speak. So these outcomes, these outputs in the form of knowledge, in the form of skills, or in the form of attitudes, or in the form of values, these are learning outcomes. I think inputs are also important. On the behalf of input, outputs are also very important. If we provide good inputs, then we can expect there must be a good outputs. So students learning outcomes are the students outputs of students performance, what students will be able to demonstrate at the end of the lesson. These are learning outcomes of the students. Dear students, SLOs, students learning outcomes. specify an action by the students that must be observable. The outcomes of the students must be observable. Each and every can observe. Students have achieved these things. Students are able to do this. Students are able to know this. Students are able to write this. Students are able to read this. So, learning outcomes of the students must be observable. If someone wants, that must be measurable. You can measure whether students have that knowledge, whether students have writing skills or reading skills or mathematical skills. You can measure through different tests. Student learning outcomes must be observable. Students learning outcomes must be measurable and able to be demonstrated. That learning outcomes can be demonstrated in reading form, in writing form, in speaking form, in counting form. So, students' learning outcomes must be observable, must be measurable, and able to demonstrate. In the same way, dear students, I hope you are listening my words with your full attention, and I think you are keeping interesting in this lesson. Shabash, you are a good students. Student learning outcomes are the knowledge, exact, solid and technical skills, professional behaviors, and solid reasoning and problem solving abilities. I have colored different words and different sentences with different colors, and I have also underlined these words. Please, you have to keep attention on these words, on these underlined sentences. I repeat, and you inshallah will understand very well. Students' learning outcomes are the knowledge. Students' learning outcomes may be in the form of knowledge. When teacher deliver content to the students, actually students gain a lot of knowledge about different terms, different methodologies, and about different things. So students' learning outcomes may be in the form of knowledge, in the form of exact, solid and technical skills. It may be in the form of knowledge and solid and technical skills, and maybe in the form of professional behaviors and solid reasoning and problem solving abilities. So students learning outcomes may be a knowledge, may be solid and technical skills. There may be a different technical skills, writing skills, reading skills, mathematical skills, listening skills, and there are other different in science different skills, technical skills. So exact, solid knowledge and technical skills may be a learning outcomes, and professional behaviors, how the students have changed their behavior, how they are becoming towards profession, how they are professional reader, how they are professional writer, how they are professional speaker, how they have built up their professional techniques in mathematics, in different subjects. So students learning outcomes maybe in the form of knowledge, solid technical skills and professional behaviors, and solid reasoning and problem solving abilities. When students have a solid reasoning, what is this, how this is as, why this is as, it means students have learned something when they have put this type of question. And when they have a problem solving abilities, then we say that students have learned because they are able to solve their problem, they have abilities to solve the problems. So this is the form of learning outcomes that have been achieved at the completion of the curricular part, course or program. In curricular, in syllabus, it is a part of a syllabus, it is a part of a course or program. So learning outcomes are very important. These are the students' outputs in the form of knowledge, solid and technical skills, professional skills or behavior, solid reasoning and problem solving abilities. Students' learning outcomes. Yes, student learning outcomes are basically related to proficiencies but reflect the abilities that have been attained by the students during the program or at the end of the program. Student learning outcomes are basically related to the proficiencies. What are the proficiencies that students have been achieved? These are learning outcomes. What are the efficiencies that students have achieved? These are the learning outcomes. And these reflect the abilities that have been attained by the students. Students able to do a lot of things. Students have attained a lot of abilities during the program or at the end of the program. So all these attainable abilities, all these attained proficiencies, all these attained efficiencies are learning outcomes of the students. I think learning outcomes of students is very important because students try to learn a lot of things. When students try to learn a lot of things, then students keep attention to their lesson and students get proficiencies, students get a lot of abilities at the end of the lesson. Dear students, student learning outcomes serve as the foundation upon which the assessment plan is constructed. Actually, student learning outcomes are important. It works just like a base for assessment. I explain as the teacher wants to know about the learning outcomes. Teacher have expectations after completion of the lesson. Students will be able to this. Student will be able to this. Student will be able to write down. Student will be able to read out. Student will be able to solve this problem. So on these learning outcomes, keeping in view these learning outcomes, the teacher will prepare a test and teacher will put questions to check the learning outcomes, whether students have achieved, to what extent students have achieved those learning outcomes. So learning outcome, according to learning outcome, teacher will assess the students, teacher will prepare assessment plans, teacher will prepare test, teacher will prepare questions, keeping in view that learning outcomes, because the teacher have to check the learning outcomes. Teacher have in mind these are expectations and these are learning outcomes, and teacher wants to check through different tests, and teacher then plan a test. As assessment method cannot be made before the outcomes are known. So when we expect these are outcomes of the students, and then we prepare our assessment plan and then we check all those learning outcomes, to what extent students have achieved all these things, and to what extent students have outcomes. Dear students, we will discuss about the form of and structure of student learning outcomes. As students learning outcomes are very important, it have a structure, it have a a form, a specific form. Best practices in writing students' learning outcomes are summarized as: the SLOs, the student learning outcomes, are specific to the program. These are the specific to the program. According to program, there will be learning outcomes. In different subjects, in different programs, there may be a different learning outcomes. So we can we can form learning outcomes according to the specific program. They are related with the specific program. I have underlined, I have colored. Specific to the program. Learning outcomes are specific to the program. You have to keep in mind, dear students. The SLOs focus on what is critical, what is important to the program. This is very important. SLOs focus on what is important to the program. That the things that is important in program, that is related to the SLOs. The important things of the program are included in SLOs. In the same way, the SLOs describe the knowledge, skills, and outlooks that students are expected to gain as a result of their completion of the program. So SLOs or maybe in the form of a knowledge that students have attained. This is a output of the knowledge in students in the form of a knowledge. SLOs may be in the form of skills. In teaching learning process, the students get different skills. And these are outlooks that we can observe, we can measure, that students are expected to gain as a result of their completion of the program. When they have to complete their program, they have a knowledge, they have a skills, they have a different outlooks, they have a different abilities. All these are students learning outcome, and these are the form of students learning outcomes. In the same way, dear students, the SLOs or student learning outcomes are clear and understandable to both faculty and students. The students learning outcomes are very much clear for the students as well as for the teachers. Teachers now are able to know these things students have achieved. When teacher assess to the students, teacher are able to clearly know students have achieved these things. And in the same way, students also clearly know students have achieved these things. So student learning outcomes are clear and understandable to both faculty and students. In the same way, the students learning outcomes use action verbs. These are in the form of action verb. It is better to use concrete verbs such as define. Students learning outcomes are in the form of a concrete verb, action verb. Define, classify, or formulate. When students are able to define something, whether students are able to classify, they are able to make a classification about different things, or they are able to formulate things, then these are the students learning outcomes, rather than vague verbs like understood or know. So otherwise it may take more time for faculty to reach consensus about the criteria that needed to be used to determine whether a student knows something. So it is easy to define something, it is easy to classify something, it is easy to formulate something. rather than we have to build consensus whether students know or something. So these are the form and structures of students' learning outcomes. There is a abbreviation and table we will discuss in this slide. A table showing various verbs for knowledge, skills and dispositions is available below. The SLOs are measurable. This is a form of SLOs. These are measurable. You can measure learning outcomes of the students. When teacher take a test, teacher measure a different skills and knowledge of the students, and teacher assign number to the students. So SLOs are measurable. It should be feasible to measure the outcomes. We are able and easily we can measure the outcomes with the help of different tests. In the same way, there is an abbreviation that is useful to remember. These are SMART. You can see that SMART. I have colored SMART. SMART. Here S is for specific. Students' learning outcomes are specific to the subject, specific to the program. Students' learning outcomes are measurable. You can measure. These are observable. These are measurable with the help of a different test. These are acceptable. You can accept these students are able to, these abilities students have, to what extent students have these abilities. These are acceptable. They are realistic. And these are targeted. You have a target and you can target it. These things students have achieved and students are able to know this. So these are some sentences regarding students' learning outcomes, and I hope you will understand about students' learning outcomes. Now at the end we have to discuss some methods of stating instructional objectives. What are the methods that we have to keep in mind when we have to state instructional objectives? Instructional objectives should be stated in terms of learner's performance, not teacher's performance. That is very important. Instructional objectives, this is a method. We have to state instruction objectives in terms of learner's performance. What will be the performance of learner? What will be the knowledge of learner? What will be the skills of learners at the end of the lesson, and not teacher's performance. We have not write down instruction objectives in the form of teacher performance. We have to write down in terms of learner's performance. This is the stating method of instruction objectives. In the same way, the objective should specify what the learner will be able to do at the end of the lesson. It specify with the learner, and it specify with the learner knowledge. It will be specified with the learner abilities. It will specify with the learner's efficiencies. So objective should be specified what the learner will be able to do, what the learner will be able to act, what will be the abilities in the learners. It will be specified with the learner what to be able to do at the end of the lesson. Use an action verb. When you have to state instruction objective, you have to use an action verb, an observable form. And when you have to state instruction objective, use verbs that refer to any observable activity. That verb you have to use that show observable activity. With the help of that verb, you are able to show or to see an observable activity displayed by a learner. In this form, you can state instruction objectives. In the same way, when you say state instruction objectives, state in terms of learning outcomes instead of learning process. This is a learning outcomes. You have to write down the instruction objective in the term of learning outcomes rather than learning process. Learning process is another thing, and learning outcomes, what student will be able to learn, you have to state in instruction objectives. Specify the standards of minimum acceptable performance. Your instruction objective should specify the minimum standard of acceptable performance. We can accept the performance of the students. You have to put standards. You have to measure the students' performance against a standard, and that should and must fulfill that standard. So instruction objectives specify the standard of minimum acceptable performance. It is specified with the standard. An objective should not consist of more than one learning outcome. When you have to write down an instruction objectives, you have to put one learning outcome in one objectives. You have no need to put two learning outcomes in a instruction objectives. So these are the methods, these are the rules, these are the principles to state instruction objectives. I hope you have seen all these things very well, and inshallah I hope when you will read out these slides once again, inshallah you will know all these things very well. Dear students, shabash, you are with me, and at the end there is an activity. Dear students, in our last lecture you will prepare instruction objectives of a lesson. I think in lesson number 4 you will prepare instruction objectives of a lesson, and lesson you select a lesson of your own favorite subject, and you have write down instruction objectives that were very good instruction objectives. Now, keeping in view that lesson, you have to write down on your notebooks learning outcomes of that lesson. Keeping in view that lesson that you prepared, and you have to write down now learning outcome. What students have outputs, what students have learned. Keeping in view that objectives, you have to write down at least 7 learning outcomes you have to write down here. Inshallah you will do this. I am here, I am observing you. Shabash. You have to start write down learning outcome on your notebooks. I am here, I will help you. I will observe you and I will help you. Shabash. And you have to complete this activity. Shabash. Thank you very much. Shabash, you have to done this.